Oxford Bookworms Library, Stage 1. Weddings by Christine Lindop. Read by Nicolette Mackenzie. Published and copyright Oxford University Press, 2011. Chapter 1. A Long Time Ago. Everybody loves a wedding. It is a happy day. A day for blue skies and flowers, for family and friends, for music and dance. Some weddings are very small, with just 5 or 6 people, and other weddings cost thousands of dollars and have hundreds of people. But in every wedding, there are 2 very important people: the bride, the woman, and the groom, the man. For them, the wedding is when their new life begins. When was the first wedding? Nobody knows, of course. But there were weddings in Egypt thousands of years ago. In some ways, they were like weddings today. The Egyptian man and woman got engaged before they got married. The groom and his parents visited the bride and her family and gave them money. The groom gave a present to his bride, too. Often, it was something made of gold. At the wedding, there was lots of food, and people sang and danced. Long ago, in Rome, the father of the bride looked for a groom for her. But often, his daughter found her man first. Then the fathers of the bride and the groom arranged things between them. The bride needed to be 12 years old or more, and a groom 13 or more, before they could get married. On the day of the wedding, the bride wore a long white dress and had flowers in her hair. A pronuba, a married woman friend, often the mother of the bride, went with her and stood next to her at the ceremony. Friends and family came to the wedding, and the family needed 10 Roman men as witnesses. After the ceremony, there was a party at the new home of the bride and groom, and people gave them presents. Later, in Western countries, a wedding was a day for the families of the bride and groom. Sometimes, the father of the bride looked for the best groom for his daughter, or the bride's family got help from a matchmaker. This person met different young men and found the right groom for the bride. After that, the 2 families arranged the wedding together, and the wedding happened at the bride's house, not at a church. Here, the bride and the groom got married in front of everybody. In the 1500s, the wedding moved to the church. and there was a ceremony. Today in Western countries, like the USA, Canada, the UK, Australia, and many European countries, weddings often have a lot of the same things. For example, the bride wears a white and often expensive dress and carries beautiful flowers. She usually has helpers with her too, friends, or perhaps younger girls, and sometimes boys, from the family. In this book, we are going to call a wedding like this a Western wedding. Weddings change over time, and different countries and churches all have their own traditions. Weddings often have things like music or dance from long ago, but they have new things from today too. People sometimes put together different parts of other wedding traditions. A Japanese bride wears an American dress, or a Brazilian bride has a French wedding cake. And, as you can see in the next chapters, people in countries a long way from each other often do the same things for the same reason. Chapter 2. Before the Wedding. A woman finds a man. A man finds a woman. Perhaps they meet at work, at a party, or through friends. Perhaps a matchmaker helps them, or their families arrange the wedding. When a man asks a woman to marry him, he proposes. Of course, the woman can ask the man to marry her. In some countries, Leap Day, the 29th of February, is the day for this. When the woman, or the man, says yes, the couple are engaged. In Western countries, this is called an engagement. In the photo, you can see Prince William of Wales and Catherine Kate Middleton in London on the day of their engagement. At the same time as the engagement, or soon after, the groom often gives the bride a ring called an engagement ring. Where does the tradition of the engagement ring come from? Archduke Maximilian of Austria gave a ring with a diamond to Mary of Burgundy in 1477. This was the first engagement ring with a diamond, some people say, and a diamond ring is popular today. The Gimmel ring was popular in Germany, England, and other countries in the 1500s and 1600s. There were 2 parts to this ring. When they got engaged, the man wore one part and the woman wore the other part. Then, when they got married, the 2 rings went together and made one ring, the woman's wedding ring. You can buy special rings like these today. Sometimes the groom has an engagement ring too. In Germany, the bride and groom give each other gold rings. Before the wedding, these go on the left hand, and then they go on the right hand and are wedding rings. In Brazil, the groom gives the bride a ring for her right hand, and at the wedding, it goes on her left hand. In China, some brides wear a ring with jade. This brings them good luck. At the time of the engagement, there are often presents. Sometimes they are between the bride and groom, and sometimes between the 2 families. In some countries, the groom's family gives money, called the bride price, to the bride's family because the bride is leaving them. In Indonesia, a groom from a Chinese family gives clothes, gold, and money to the bride and her parents. They look at the presents and give half of them back. This says to the groom, "This is very good of you, but we cannot take all these presents from you." In Hawaii, the groom's family once gave doors, windows, and all the things for a house, and the bride's family made the house. Engagement presents can be lots of different things. Chickens in Zaire, flowers called dravets in Bulgaria, and of course, cars, money, houses, and gold. After the engagement, and before the wedding, the bride often has a party with her women friends called a hen night or bachelorette party. It is their last time together before the bride leaves them to be a married woman. It is a time to talk, laugh, and perhaps dance together, and sometimes to make a lot of noise too. When the groom goes out with his friends like this, it is called a stag night or bachelor party. In Hawaii and other parts of the USA, some brides make 1,000 little birds from paper. They do this in the time between the engagement and the wedding. This tradition comes from Japan, and it brings good luck and a long, happy life to the couple. The little birds, often white red, or gold, are sometimes made into a big picture for the couple's new home. In the years to come, they can look back at the picture and remember their wedding.